Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is LIA-cious for Communication Student of Muhammadiyah University Yogyakarta and Government and Public Affairs course participant in 2020. In this video, I want to explain of three materials that have been taught previously. First material about government public communication. Presidential Instruction of the Republic of Indonesia number 9 of 2015 concerning public communication management, the President of the Republic of Indonesia, their respective function and authorities in order to support the implementation of public communication by 1. Submit data and information related to the implementation of duties and function to the Minister of Communication and Information on a regular basis, and 2. Disseminate to the public a single narrative and other supporting data complete by the Ministry of Communication and Information related to government policy and programs. 3. Convey of government's policy and program in cross-sectorial and cross-regional manner to the public quickly and accurately. 4. Convey information through various communication channels to the public in a fast, objective, good quality, national perspective, and easy to understand related to the government policy and programs. And that is of the Minister of Communication and Information Technology is 1. Coordinate the planning, preparation, and implementation of public communication related to government policy and programs, and 2. Reviewing data and information submitted by ministry and non-ministerial government agency. 3. Carry out media monitoring and analysis of media content related to government policy and programs, and 4. Prepare a single narrative related to government policy and programs to the public according to the direction of the president. And then carry out dissemination and education related to government policy and programs through available communication channels, and monitor and evaluate the implementation of public communication. And the last is may invite and involve the minister, leaders of non-ministerial government institution, and or other parties in formulating information materials to be communicated to the public. And pillar of public communication is the public urge the remain calm and art, providing access to information to the media and coordination with related agencies. The communication pillar is important in organizational communication in order to prevent riots caused by a crisis, and considering that nowadays there are many sources of information that contain a lot of lies and exaggeration so that it can cause people to be afraid. Therefore, public communication in times of crisis is very necessary so that communication is accurate, fast, and has minimal misunderstanding. Government public relation internal function. Goal labor. Organization communication is a process of creating and exchanging message in a network of relation that depend each other to cope with uncertain or changing environment. And Royal Ludlow expressed to the opinion that organizational communication is communication program in the study of the field of public relation or PR on internal relation and government relation and investor relation in organization. In conclusion, organizational communication is a group that depends on each other from a common goals and maintain its goals in non-dynamic dynamic environment. Lawrence D. Bernan defines internal communication as a change of ideas between administrator and employees in a company or organization in order to realize company goals. The exchange of ideas or information in internal communication is supported by several forms of communication channels, including vertical, horizontal, and diagonal communication. With the creation of a good government communication environment internal, the performance of the staff is good and the public is satisfied with the public service. Why is public satisfaction with public service provided by the government, including the positive impact of the formation of good government internal communication? This is because the delivery of a good and correct message by the government to the public, including the success of making its own human resource become collaborative and can develop motivation and a good climate in the organization. Next is what is the function of internal organizational communication in government. According to regulation of the State Minister for Administrative Reform and Bureaucratic Reform of the Republic of Indonesia number 28 of 2011, there are several functions. First is informative, that understanding the communication guidelines of public relations. Instructive, requires all public relation officer to use communication guidelines for public relation organization. Educational, providing guidance for the learning process of public relation officer in carrying out organization communication. And then persuasive, encourage and provide alternative for public relation officers that use communication guidelines for public relation organization. And regulatory, carry out organizational communication in accordance with laws and regulation on public relation ethnic. Integrative, uniting the common perception, commitment, sense of belonging, and responsibility of the public relation apparatus to the management of organizational communication. And the last communication price is mediating between agency in managing organizational communication. And the scope of government internal communication is communication management between central government agency, communication management between central government and local government, and management of communication between local government agency. And last is various direction of internal communication of government organizational. Downward communication, the flow of communication that moves from the leadership to the subordinates following the organizational hierarchy. The message conveyed are in the form of text instruction, mission, goals, and feedback to employees. Upper communication is communication follow the network from subordinates to leaders. The message conveyed are usually in the form of work implementation reports, employee complaints, employee attitude and feeling about various things. In the perspective of the geography of public organization of country, government communication with the follow public information and tax information that follows downward is very dominant and is a characteristic of centralist government communication. Government communication that emphasizes downward communication, both from superior to subordinate as well as regionally from the central government to local government, appears in the centralized government of the New Order era. For example, the local government cannot do much and even the feedback information provided by the regions of the center is very limited and even only accommodated by the center. This is because there are policies that have been set by the central government. And the last is horizontal communication is communication among CEO workers, even though they have different fields but are still on the same organizational guideline. The last material I want to explain is about government media management. Government social media management Kurniasi in the book Maximizing the Use of Social Media in Government Institutions explained that there are several costs of the use of social media by government public relations. First is social media is designed to maintain and enhance the reputation of the institution and explore public aspiration. Second, social media is interactive medium. Third is social media is online documentation. And fourth, social media in LIA-cious a very broad public, so understanding is needed in dissemination information and how to communicate across culture. For some people, social media is considered antisocial. To avoid the stigma, a public relations officer must, of course, be able to balance the role of online communication media with direct communication with the public, especially the internal public who are physically and geographically very close. Principle of government made public relations social media is credibility, is namely maintaining credibility so that the information conveyed is accurate, balanced, and representative. Integrity, namely showing an honest attitude and maintaining ethic. Professional, namely have education, expertise, and skills in their field. Responsive, namely responding to input quickly and accurately. Integrated, namely aligning the use of social media with other communication media, both internet-based online and non-internet-based offline. Representation is the message conveyed as represent the interests of government agency, not personal interests. Social media ethic is government public relations practitioner and need to enforce social media ethic, namely uphold the honor of government agency, have expertise, competence, objective, honesty, and integrity, maintain state secret, and carry out that out of office, enforce applicable ethic in order to create the image reputation of government agency, respective the code of ethics for civil servants. And deliver and receive true, precise, and accurate public information, and appreciate, respect, and foster solidarity as well as good name of institution and individuals. Implement public information disclosure in accordance with the provision of the legislation. Regulation of the Minister of State Apparatus Empowerment of Menpan No. Number 83 of 2012 concerning guidelines from the use of social media for government agency. Social media activities are integrated part of the overall communication activities of government agency. Therefore, the activities must be aligned with general government policy. The policy of government agency that have social media accounts must be reflected in the content of social media. To manage public relations by utilizing social media, official account of each government agency are used with the person with charge administrator of the leadership of the agency concerned or for on behalf of the agency leaders. The person in charge has the full right to upload information related to agency and respond to or answer comments, opinions, input, and suggestions from the audience. Okay, thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.